The Papi bull from the Papi store. Yeah, it's profit, I manage it. In the back with the meat slicer, like, what you want in your sandwich, bitch? Let's see what you want on your sandwich, bitch.
You already know it's your boy iKnowBrasco, aka They Know, aka Big Blonde. We live, man. We at the Papi store. You already know what type of time I'm on, man. The chips is on me. I'm the king of the Papi store. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and get you a soda or something, you heard? We outside, man. 215-19132 to be specific. They know.
They asked me where the spark went, I'm trying to find it, I think I lost it. When they started referring to my art as just content, I let my pen go and my mind drifts. 0.005 for a stream, it ain't enough of my time spent. Crafting, I come from nines blasting for nonsense. Reminded I graduated same year LeBron did. See, he went to the league, me I went to the corner. Justin Street, you run it wrong, you a goner. Clip longer than a text from your angry baby mama. Smoking weed in the sauna with dreams of a threesome with Gianna and Shauna. Lyrically, I'm just happy.
You kind of went over it, but your website. I kind of want to just jump right into your website.
Yeah.
I know we can go to the Philly scene. I got a couple questions about Philly in particular, but your website, man, you know, we talked about having a brand and bringing merch with you to these ciphers and these events and these showcases and whatnot. Like, your website is dope.
Thank you, man. Shout out to my brother John Minty. Another one, you know, like we said before, I've known John since 1999. We wasn't cool till like 2001, but I've known him since 1999, and like that's somebody who calls my mom. I call his mom. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he, like, honest to goodness truth, right now, if he showed up to my crib and was like, yo, I'm gonna take the kids to the park, take
yeah.
like I love that brother, man. And you know, he's always believed in me, and you know, he's great with like digital stuff, like that's his thing. Okay. And he has a great comic book podcast out for those that are into comic books. But he was saying to me, he was like, yo, I'm trying to promote my digital artwork and everything that I do. Okay. Can I do a website for you? And at that time, I didn't have anything that I felt as though I was in one of my lows. I wasn't in one of my upticks. And he talked to me and he broke it down to me. He was like, nah, let me do the website. And so we started working on it, and it just made me more aware of what I needed to do as an artist and as a business. And he just believed in me, and he be hooking me up, man.
That's love.
He be hooking me up.
I mean, because the website, not only does it look dope, but everything is easily accessible. Yeah, like, it's not doing too much in a sense, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it looks great, like, too.
Appreciate that.
And I'm gonna put it up on the screen as well as we talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. iKnowBrasco.com, man. And like you said, you go right there, right at the top, man. Whatever you need, music, videos, merch. You can go on there and just subscribe for updates, which is something that, you know, a model that I'm starting to implement is everything is going to go through the website. Okay. Before it hits streaming, before any of that, you got to come to the website to get it first. Yeah. It's going to live there exclusively for a certain amount of time, and then, you know, streaming and all that stuff, the rest of the world can have it. But the goal is for anybody who wants to go on this journey, this is the centralized location. We're going to start here. Anytime there's giveaways, when there's shows and I got tickets that I can just sort of give out, like, it's going to be for people who are subscribed to the website, because you can put your email in and subscribe to updates. Yeah. The people who are locked in, they get everything first. You know what I'm saying? And I'm blessed that there are people who feel like compelled to be subscribed. Yeah. That's a blessing. Yeah. And so, you know, but yeah, no, man, I'm blessed, man.
How important was that decision for you, though, to get a website? And it was how important as an artist, as a brand, right? Like,
I didn't realize how important it was until after I had it.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? I had one a while back, and I never updated it, never took care of it, and it didn't really click. But in this most recent run, it's like everything circulates through that, and everybody else has their own IP that they own. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want to do something, like if you want to deal with Joe Rogan has a space where you can go for Joe Rogan. You know what I'm saying? Like every business has its own space. To only limit myself to social networks, which I like, that's not my pay. If Twitter decides Twitter's done, those three, I don't even know what my number is, somewhere between 3,000 and 5,000 followers, because I've been working on it for forever. Those people, if Twitter decides, yo, we shut off tomorrow, where do they go to find me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I didn't realize until after I had the website, after John created the website for me and we helped build it, how important it was. But now everything goes through that. Sometimes I don't even talk about, like, I'll mention my social at shows, but the point that I drive home is go to the website and just put your email in, and everything, I'll take care of the rest. That's it. I'll take care of the rest. Just put your email in, subscribe, and I'll make sure that everything that you need to know, music, merch, shows, everything, you'll get it first.
I love it. I love the professionalism behind it, the look of it, the easy accessibility behind it, and I love the entrepreneurial spirit that you bring to it.
You got to go direct to consumer, man. It's what they pay for a stream is disgusting. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you see everybody complain about it, from the most underground artists to Snoop Dogg. I seen Snoop say, yo, they told me I got 1 billion streams and they didn't give me $1 billion. Yeah, because they give you 0.005 or whatever it is per stream. How many, like, you know, it's all those charts out there, and that's the thing. There's no definitive chart from any of the streaming services that say how much a stream is worth. It's everybody's calculations based on how many streams they did versus how much they made. Deserve. Right? But like somebody is out there like, oh, this artist did this many streams and made this much, so the streams must be worth this much. There's no definitive answer from none of the streaming platforms. So we're gonna bypass all that. I know for a fact, and this is with full certainty, that if you go on my website and pay me $2 for a single, I know for a fact I made $2.
100% profit.
You know what I'm saying? You can play it however many times you want to play it. I'm not like, I pray that you play it 1,000,000 times, you know what I'm saying, from the comfort of your home. But I don't have to wait for you to play it 675 times directly from Apple Music to get $2. And wait on and then wait on them to give me that in the next quarter. Because they, you know what I'm saying, they don't calculate it and pay it out till 3 months later. No, if you go on my website and give me $2 on Monday, I got $2 by Monday night. I ain't tripping, you know what I'm saying? And I'd rather do it that way. I'd much rather have 100 people buy something for $2 than people just streaming it randomly, and I might get $1.65 in 3 months. It's not worth it.
No, that makes complete sense.
You know what I'm saying? So artists, get a website. You know what I'm saying? Like, get a website, centralize all of your material, and continue to collect data. Collect contacts, collect emails, collect, you know, whatever, Twitter handles, Instagrams, whatever it is. Collect the data of the people that want to hear you and that express interest, and keep that information, organize it, and use it to your advantage. That's the best. That's the way that you move ahead nowadays. The old way is dead.
I mean, we live in a digital world. We live in the future. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense to, like, I mean, utilize Twitter, utilize Instagram, Facebook, MySpace. I don't know MySpace a lot. Utilize all of it, and then you can direct all those people to your website,
to one spot. One spot, bro. Like I tell people now, like I'm gonna, like, when I drop my next project, it's gonna be on my website. Even in dropping it on my website exclusively, the people who are subscribed are going to get a preview of it at least, I want to say, anywhere between 5 to 7 days early. Y'all took the time to type y'all email in and subscribe. So in that, before the public can see it, I want to share it with you first, because you took a moment to lock in. I want to do this, you know what I'm saying? And that's the reciprocity there. And then, okay, now the public that comes to the website has it. And then, you know, maybe 30 to 60 days later, we'll give it to the general public, because at some point it does have to go on streaming to try to reach the masses. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get all 1 million people directly to the website off the first joint. So we're going to put it on streaming, but we got to take care of the people that take care of us. So if you subscribe to the website, you get it first. Then if you go to the website, you get it second. And then if you just want to wait until it hits Spotify or Apple or any of those, cool. We're going to take that coin too. But you're going to have to wait for it. You're going to be out the loop. So get in the loop.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Absolutely. I love that, man.
That's your man.
I want let's shift gears, right?
Yeah.
Go back to this
the Philly scene.
Let's
talk about it.
Absolutely, man. What do you think what do you think makes Philly's hip hop scene unique?
It's the diversity and the hunger. I've never, in all the places that I've been, and I haven't been as many places as I'm going to go, but in all the places that I've been, in all the rap events and ciphers, battles, all of that, there are very few places where someone is from where I hear the hunger the way I hear it from the majority of Philly artists. Like, it's very rare that I'm in a space where I hear a bunch of Philly rappers and every single one of them don't sound like they mean it. Yeah. But I can go to other places and it might be 1 or 2 or 3 that sound like it, and the rest of them just sound like they're just going through the motions. Philly rappers rap every single time like they're rapping for Jay. Right. Like, and I think part of that comes from the influence of state property. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of us that, especially, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we're talking about a certain age group and a certain cloth of being outside, once we saw state property standing next to, at that time, one of the biggest commercial rappers in the world, we said, oh, there's space for us there. What would I do if I got into a room and could rap for thee? That's how I used to write my raps. That's how I used to perform my raps. If I got 30, they call it the 30-second pitch. If I got 30 seconds in the elevator with one of these big CEOs or one of these big time rappers, and I got 30 seconds with my raps to impress them, what's going to impress them? I said it could be the wordplay, or it could be the fact that I'm dead serious. You know what I'm saying? It all goes back, like we said before. That conviction. The fact that I mean it. And that's from Philly. You can't go outside and rap. You can't be on 22nd and Lehigh in front of Dobbins in the middle of a cypher. You know what I'm saying? You can't be like you can't be down back where 923 was. You know what I'm saying? You can't be in front of 923 during the let out when the cypher break out and not sound like you mean it. You can't be in these spaces. You can't be in these spaces, whether it's a cypher, a battle, a competition. You can't be in there and sound like you don't care. You got to present it a certain way. And then the diversity. Philly is the home of Beanie Siegel, but Philly is also the home of Black Thought. But Philly is also the home of Eve, which is also the home of Will Smith, which is also the home of Meek, which is also the home of Uzi.
We got a lot of talent coming out of the city.
Which is also the home of Bahamadia, which is also it's so many different thought processes and styles that all go into it, that it's like, I think those are the two things that sets Philly apart: the diversity and the hunger. Like the hunger of it all.
Well, just kind of like on the other side of things, what are some of the challenges that you face, as an artist in the city?
I mean, so I'm gonna take it off of me just for a second. My number one issue with the city of Philadelphia is we are way too dependent on, and I say this with love, we are way too dependent at one point on New York. And I say that because the business of music used to run directly through New York. Now it's spread out more. You have the internet, but now everything is Atlanta and LA. You know what I'm saying? But there was a point in time where all of the record labels were in New York. If your man's called you and said, yo, I got a meeting, we got to go up to New York this weekend, you knew where, like, you already knew you're going to Manhattan, you're going to one of these office buildings, you know what I'm saying? Pardon yourself. So it's like, I feel like the business model of what the rap industry is and could be never really, like, Philly didn't have a record label. Had record companies, no disrespect to anybody who had a stable of artists that put music out.
Right.
But in terms of a dominant music entity to put out rap music, Philly never had that. So the business structure was wrong. A lot of us had to learn about barcodes and promote and billboard and you know, and even now with streaming, licensing, sync, publishing, like, that's what I tell artists now. The first thing I tell young artists is get your business together, work on the music, keep creating, focus on your business. Nobody told me, if somebody had told me when I first started rapping when I was 13 to establish my publishing, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody told me. And then when somebody did tell me that, they didn't know how. They were older artists from the city, but they didn't know how to do it because nobody told them. They just knew that they didn't have it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But that used to be something that people would rely on their manager or their old head from New York that knew the label to set up. Philly has not had, until recently as it starts to grow, has not had the business structure it needs to advance and become the staple in the industry. Anywhere you go, they'll say Philly has the best rappers in the world. Yeah. Anywhere you go. Yeah. On any level, Philly has some of the best rappers in the world. Philly doesn't have some of the best music industry, A, reputation, and B, representation across the board. Yeah. And I feel like that's where the issue is. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have major label CEOs that came from Philly. Yeah.
What are some of the artists from Philly you think deserve more recognition? You got any names?
I'm gonna keep it real. Currently, I'm not super up on like a lot of the artists. I know the artists that I work with, that I believe in, that I feel as though, you know, like, I feel as though just deserve an opportunity. I feel like everybody deserves an opportunity, but you know, I got cats like my guy Hadiot. He's from Strawberry Mansion. You know what I'm saying? He's a super dope, but he's super talented because he can rap, he can produce, he can arrange. Like, he's one of those people that, like, I'll make the song and then I'll send it to him and then he'll give me structural critiques. Okay. You don't critique the bars.
Oh, you need a homie like that. You definitely need a homie.
Structural critiques, and you know, and then, but the dope part about it is when I hear his music, he's not giving me any advice that he wouldn't take himself. Right. You know what I'm saying? But cats like him, there's singers like Jacqueline Constance. I think she's amazing. She does like this loop pedal thing where she can like create the entire beat and then sing over it on stage. Oh, wow. She's amazing. She is amazing, bro. And you know what I'm saying? My man Stark Fan Blizz, he just came home from doing a lot of time, and he's been dropping consistently with an energy and a vulnerability that just like talking about everything he's been through. And then I feel like the people who have done the work, man. Like, I'm all about, like, outside of names, it's more so about, are you doing what you're supposed to do? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got, like, and once again, I don't just say this because you're here. People like you, people like my man Mike Voss, people like Del P, who have done things like creating platforms for other artists, including themselves in it still, but taking the time to water the grass of the Philly community of rap. I feel like those are the people that need to be championed a lot more, because we don't get to the next levels without each other. You know what I'm saying? As much as people like to talk about the whole crab in the barrel mentality of pulling each other down, whatever the reverse mentality theory of that is, I don't know if it has a name or not, or what animals they use, but whatever the reverse theory of that is, where we're pulling each other up, we don't even have to pull each other out. But if you're on level 3 and I'm on level 1, and your arm can reach down and pull me up, and you believe that when I get to that level, I'm going to represent it the way that, you know, in a positive way, when I get there, if I don't take that same mindset and look and see, yo, come on.
Yeah.
Yo, come on.
Yeah.
Yo, we got a show. Yo,
that is a mindset, though. I look at it where it's like, why are we focusing on the crabs pulling each other down? Why are we even talking about that?
Right.
Like
let them be crabs.
Yeah, we don't even gotta acknowledge
them. They're gonna do that anyway.
I'm personally more focused on like the glass being half full. Why am I worried about the glass being half empty? My prescription ain't even set up that way.
It's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a fact, man. We're gonna look at the positive and accentuate the positive, accentuate the people that are working. Like I said, the people that are giving back.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like I got a whole team of fellas that I do work with. 215 UFO. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother Yikes. Shout out to Aaron Shakur. He's from Camden, but he be over here all the time. He was here on the day of the Cypher. You know what I'm saying? He was,
actually, yeah. I was gonna say that.
You know what I'm saying?
He showed
super
up.
Dope. Yeah.
He had to leave.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But he's one of those guys where when we talk about are you doing what you need to do, he came out just to support. You know what I'm saying? He knew myself and he knew another artist on the Cypher. He came out just to support. Even in that, and him having a conversation with you and opening up the opportunity to be on the next one, it's like, yo, sometimes you just gotta put yourself in the room and carry yourself a certain way. Yeah. Like we talked about before, those opportunities present themselves, man. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a lot of dope artists in the city, you know what I'm saying? I'd be remiss really quick. I gotta shout out my brother Black, because Black is one of those artists where he has his own studio. He has his own record company. He has his own studio, his own production company. He has all of that.
Okay.
When I started my website and when I was getting everything together, he was the one giving me pointers. When I would go do a feature for him, like for his project, he was the one putting me onto the licensing and sync and showing me how to line all that up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was the one of the people who, when if I go do a feature for him, at the end of the session, because he owns his own studio, he'll say to me, yo, you got anything that you need to record? Ain't no need to go pay for studio time. We here, we brothers. Yo, as soon as we finish this, John, let's knock out some work for you. You know what I'm saying? He did that for me at a time when I didn't know what I wanted to do musically. And he helped me get to a space where I locked back in on recording. Because he was saying, yo, come do this verse for me, but make sure you got something to do for yourself, because we're going to record a solo record for you afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Or, yo, I got this beat. This one is for you. So after we record this record, we can work on that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'd be remiss to not shout him out too. But it's a lot of dope artists in the city, man. We just got to do the work.
Yeah.
It all boils down to work.
Yeah, that's low-key kind of what I'm doing now, as far as like with the goal of the Papi Store Cypher is to bring on the best of the best that we got to offer as a city as a whole, and sometimes you gotta find that diamond in the rough, right? Like you go through these. Yeah. It's tough, but we out here.
For sure.
Definitely. You did mention having a project soon coming out, right? Can you go into that a little bit? The name of it, when is it dropping? Like,
Part stuff. Yeah, no. So, project I'm getting ready to drop is called Big Blind. Now this one is just a 4-track, and this is actually going to be a series of 3 or 4 track joints, because I want to be able to. My albums are usually centered around something.
Okay.
Not necessarily a theme or a concept, but they're centered around something. So I have other records that aren't as centered, but they're really dope records.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna package them as these 3 or 4 packs, and so this one is called Big Blind. 3 of the records are produced by my man Audio from Jersey. He did 3 of the records, and it was supposed to be a 3-pack. And then my brother, his production name is Real Rap, but if you're from the city, you might remember RY from. Remember you had the Peanut Live 215, and then you had the offshoot of that, which was Personals.
I think so.
RY and KP.
Okay,
My man RY.
Okay.
He was somebody who believed in me early. He had a studio, and he told me one time, he said, yo, I believe in you. You'll never have to pay me for studio time. Just don't half-ass. I said, all right, bet. And he's been producing recently. He sent me a beat one day and said, yo, I named this beat after you. This is yours.
Oh, wow.
It ended up being the 4th track on the EP. So it was supposed to be a 3-pack just produced by Audio. I added the 4th record. So that should be out. That'll be out before you cut your turkey on Thanksgiving, if that's what you into. it's going to be out before Thanksgiving, and you know what I'm saying, and you know, get it whenever. Just go to iKnowBrasco.com. But it's 4 records: Stuntin', Big Blind, Say Slide featuring Hadioc, and Smoking by Myself featuring Jacqueline Constance. And I'm really happy. I'm really happy with these 4 records. And I shot visuals with my man No Cut. We shot one during the day of the Papi store Cypher.
Yeah.
Like during one of the intermissions, my man pulled up on me. Yo, where you at? I said, I'm doing this Cypher. He said, I'm about to come get with you.
Yeah.
Pulled up. You know what I'm saying? And so it's one of those things, man. It's just good rap music.
I would love that footage too. We talked about it. Like you sent it to me when I got embedded right into
this. For sure, man. And then, like we mentioned earlier, if you go to the website, the Big Blind project is going to be out. 19132. That album means so much to me, and if you hear this, please go take a moment to listen to it. It's 12 records. We recorded 13, we kept 12. That's how serious it was. There's no filler, no cut, no fluff. 12 of the most important records of my life. 12 of the most important records of my life are on that project. And yeah, I just want everybody to take a moment, go listen to it, and then tell me if you like it. And then even if you don't like it, tell me that too. I'm never mad to hear that somebody don't like it.
That's a fact. We're going to get into like a couple fun personal questions or whatnot.
Let's shoot.
If you weren't rapping, what do you think you'd be doing?
Do I have both my eyes? Because it's 2 separate answers.
Okay.
If I still have one eye and I'm not rapping, I'm probably managing an artist. I love music too much, man. I love the process of it all. You know what I'm saying? But I'm also not the most technical person. So I'm not about to be working the camera or working the studio boards. But I definitely would be involved in music. If I had both my eyes, I'd have been a professional wrestler. There's no doubt about it.
Okay.
I grew up off wrestling. I've always loved it. But, you know what I'm saying? So I just medically I would have never been cleared to do so. So I never did it. But if I had both my eyes, I'd be a professional wrestler.
What would be like your name or your slogan? How would you?
You know, it's crazy because now when I think about it, everything sort of centers around like the rap version of me. Yeah. But as a kid, man, I grew up. I thought Shawn Michaels was the coolest person on earth, bro. I remember one year when I was a kid, they said, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" I said Shawn Michaels. I didn't say a wrestler. So I want to be Shawn Michaels. So it would be flashy. I would be a high flyer. I would be off the top rope. I wouldn't I would be one of those people. They'd be like, you know how if you ever watch wrestling, for all my wrestling heads out there, you've heard it before. They'd be like, he's way too big to be moving that fast. That'd have been me. Yeah. I'd have been off the top rope with it. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Just to feed off of that a little bit. Top 5 wrestlers.
Top 5 wrestlers. Oh, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Ric Flair, Roman Reigns, and personally, Bray Wyatt.
Any particular reasons for those guys on the list or whatnot?
So, I mean, Shawn Michaels was the first wrestler that I thought was the coolest person on earth. You know what I'm saying? By the way, I know I've been making it a point, and I know you have been too, just for, algorithm purposes, to watch our language. Can we curse?
Yeah, I'm with it.
Fuck Hulk Hogan. Fuck Hulk Hogan. Just want to say that. That's every day. But Shawn Michaels was like the first wrestler I thought was the coolest person in the world. Undertaker, just in terms of his run and staying with one company and being dominant. He's like the Tim Duncan of wrestling. Like, he never switched companies. He had one style and he just ran it, and it was believable. Ric Flair's the greatest to ever do it, just in general, in terms of longevity, titles, impact, like things like that. Like, if in 2018, 19, whatever year it was, an artist as big as Offset puts out a song called Ric Flair Drip, and Ric Flair debuted wrestling in the 70s, that speaks to something.
Impact, for sure.
Roman Reigns, just in terms of like the newer generation, the run that he went on the last 4 years is like an unprecedented run, and in terms of like, if you watch any of his promos of the last 4 years and then watch my verse in the Cypher, you'll see some similarities in terms of pacing and controlling the tempo of everything.
Yeah.
And then Bray Wyatt was just one of those people who authentically, there was a vulnerability about him when he would talk about things. And, he passed away about a year and a half ago. And it was, it was one of those things for the wrestling community that was super, super devastating. But he was like the DMX of wrestling.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so yeah, that's
sure.
my top 5.
Okay. If you can give your younger self, an advice, if you could give advice to your younger self, just starting out, what would you say?
We're talking musically or life? I answer questions with questions all the time, even though I tell my kids not to.
Okay. I guess both. Musically and in life.
Musically. Business, music. If I could talk to myself while I was when I was in high school, first falling in love with rap, and I had so much disposable time, I would tell myself to study the business of music and implement those things. You know what I'm saying? And I've been around people who have done so at an early age, and they, I learned from that. I had a brother named Smoke who started a record label. We both graduated high school same year. I went to college. He started a record label. When I came home from college, he was doing the record label. I joined his record label. We used to be collecting data. 11th and 11th and Market in front of the CVS. 15th and Chestnut in front of where Tower Records or FYE used to be.
Yeah.
Out there playing music, collecting emails, collecting MySpace names, all that to create mailing lists. This is 2006, you know what I'm saying? So I would tell myself as a youngin' in terms of music, study the business of music and never stop promoting yourself. Be shameless in your promotion of yourself. Don't be a character of yourself, but promote yourself as shamelessly as possible. Sometimes you gotta be like, hey, look at me.
Yeah.
Which, when you from Philly, sometimes you be like, oh, I ain't
I know that feeling.
So if they see me, they see me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They know.
Too cool.
Hey, over here, I rap and I'm good at it.
Yeah.
Check it out. That's what I would tell myself musically. Personally, I would tell myself, stay out of certain places, stay from around certain people, and do not spend certain quality time with certain women, because those 3 things will mess your life and your money up. So don't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Just to get into some closing questions and whatnot, what does success look like to you, aside from accolades like winning the Cypher and things like that? What does success look like to you?
Success for me now is, have I put my children in a position to where if I'm not here, it's not the end of the story. I would like to assume that they would be sad, but you know what I'm saying? Just jokingly, I would like to assume that but I would like them to be in a space where they know that their dad did everything they can to situate them for future situations, financially, in terms of, like we talked about earlier, emotional intelligence, instinct, being book smart. I want them, that for me, that's success. If my children go past the level that I did, in part to something that I situated in them, that's success for me. And then musically, I would love to make music my full-time everything without having to give up too much of my personal life. I look at artists that I admire, that I know for a fact can walk around the city and people be like, oh snap, it's so-and-so, what's up, whoop, whoop, can I get a picture? And they can go and do shows across the country, but they can also go to dinner and nobody bother them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's success to me. So that's what I aim for, is to make the best music possible and get as many people to listen to it.
What's one thing you want people to remember you about your artistry?
I hate to sound like a broken record, but I mean it. I mean every single word, and I'm never going to I'm never gonna compromise the message, whatever the message is, whether it's knowledgeable, whether it's emotional, whatever the message is. I'll never compromise the message for the sake of popularity. It's not about that. It's about, at the end of the day, I want people to, like, I want everybody to know that everything that I say, you can trace it back to me. I'm okay with that. There's nothing that I'm gonna say that I'm gonna be feeling cringeworthy about after the fact. Like, maybe like some of my earlier battle rap stuff, you say things about people that you don't really mean. You know what I'm saying? But it's part of the nature of the competition. It's the art form. But in terms of musically, nothing that I'm saying will, you know, it's certain songs I don't make now. You know what I'm saying? I just don't do it. Like, even, you know, it could be dope. I'd rather write that verse and give it to somebody else before I put myself in a space where I say something that I don't like the fact that I said it. I don't like the fact people heard me say it. My daughters can't listen to me say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a big thing for me now. Like, am I okay with hear it? Not even if they repeat it. Kids gonna say what they say and they grow up to be adults. But am I comfortable with my daughters knowing that their dad said those words and meant that? If I don't feel that way about it, I won't say it.
That's deep. I get it. I mean, because even like in the you mentioned battle rap, where I'm like preparing for a round, I'm walking around the crib, you know what I mean, just degrading this man's soul with every line. And my 12-year-old is like looking at me, even just being honest with her about what I'm doing. Oh yeah, daddy's only putting these bars together so I can,
for this reason.
For this reason. And not even necessarily to hide it from them, but just to give them an understanding of what's
context. These kids are smart, man. And you gotta, like you say, you gotta talk to them and let them know, hey, like, I'm doing this. This is the reason. You know, and you know, kids want to be like their parents. Hey, you might not have that reason, so you might want to refrain from doing that. But I'm not going to tell you it's wrong. I'm going to tell you this is the reason behind it. And you know,
I'm not just writing these bars to be in a negative headspace.
Because when it's time to sit down and focus on the artistry, that's when you start to go into things like, you know, those different other subjects that we talked about in music, where you incorporate the things that you've learned from business, from life, from love, from parenting, from heartbreak, from joyous occasions. And that's the stuff that you can, you know, you can play or write or say around your child, that it's like, you don't even have to explain it. They get it. They say, oh, I see okay, that was just for that. This is this. Yeah, no, their kids are perceptive.
Especially
like
for me, like in the midst of me kind of like disrespecting you as the opponent, I'm always trying to throw a message in there. Like I'm killing you, but I want to make sure your soul goes to heaven.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna teach you how to be a better you.
That's
what you gotta do sometimes. Sometimes you gotta talk to these niggas, man. Like, hey, listen. I see the person you could be. You could be a little bit better. I'm gonna get you there. Just listen. Just follow the advice. I'm gonna get you there.
Exactly. Any other shout outs or people you want to acknowledge for supporting you?
I gotta shout out my mom. I gotta shout out her brand Acts of Faith and More, which is you know, just like a clothing and print company that she started, and you know, I wear a lot of her stuff that she creates, you know, in music videos and stuff. I don't just wear just my merch. I like to wear the merch of anybody that's hustling, you know what I'm saying? Everybody that's ever believed in me, you know what I'm saying, my core team, the whole Union 187, Greater Sign Gang, 215 UFO, like I said, my brother Black, shout out to Tone Trump, who took a flyer on me really early in my career, man, and really put me in a lot of spaces that business-wise, I can't say I was the most prepared for. Talent-wise, I was there, and he always held me down, man. Shout out to everybody from my block, man. Shout out my brother Dude. Shout out to my kids. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that got love for me. I got love for y'all, man. And I'm just happy to be here, man. I'm just blessed. I'm excited. I'm the king of the Papi store. Shout out to the Papi store, man. Shout out to the Papi store, man. Listen, I don't know if anybody, I think we talked about it, I don't think anybody else declared themselves king of the Papi store after winning. But from here on out, if you win and you want to declare yourself king of the Papi store, listen, whoever wins the next Cypher, I'll bestow it on you. You can gladly be the new king. But for right now, Big Blind is the king of the Papi store, man.
And I know we touched on it already, but how can people connect with you, and support your music?
So we'll go with the ways that people are most, no, we won't. iKnowBrasco.com. iKnowBrasco.com. That is the hub for everything. Now, from there, there's a link for you can get to all my socials at iKnowBrasco on everything: Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, MySpace, Black People Meet, Black Planet, Christian Mingles, and X Videos. You can go on there and link to anything. It's always iKnowBrasco, but iKnowBrasco.com is where you can find everything, man. And other than that, man, just I'll be around. If you see me, just say "They know." You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, if I see you. If you on the right side, I might not, but if you see me out, they know. You know what I'm saying? And we just keep it pushing like that, man.
And then final question that I have really, what's one last piece of advice you'd give anyone trying to make it in the industry? I know you kind of touched it on already, but I like to end it kind of like that.
I would say be very, very aware of yourself. Be very aware of yourself, whether that is, if you're a spiritual person, please be in touch with, with your higher power. If you are not a spiritual person and you're more, of the universe, be in touch with yourself, be grounded. Because if you don't know you, things like opportunities will come about that will test your character as a person. And you may end up making choices and decisions that you won't look back on fondly. You could find yourself in situations that you aren't fond of. You know what I'm saying? You look all the time and see people who say things like, I gave my publishing away for an opportunity, or I was over here when I should have did this, but I didn't know myself. Know yourself. Know yourself. Love yourself. Take care of yourself. Prioritize yourself. Be very conscious of your mental and emotional health, and then create the best art that you can without compromise.
Well, just to close it out, man, look, man, I appreciate you for coming through.
I appreciate you, brother.
No bullshit. I appreciate you coming through. I mean, the Cypher, now this, I want to get in the studio with you.
No. It's on camera. We're doing music.
You heard him, right?
We're doing music.
It's locked in.
And I'm going to come through for the next Cypher. You know
okay, yeah, definitely. You can come through as a judge as well. You know what I'm saying?
Man, judge whatever you need, man.
Yeah, that'd be love. That'd be love.
Let's get it.
I want to thank you for coming through to the Papi store as well. You know what I'm saying? We love what we do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and we we love that you love this shit too.
That's a fact. That's a fact, man.
We wouldn't be doing this without you. You know what I mean? So keep coming through to the Papi store, man. Yeah. Show love. If you know anybody that got some bars, pay attention to the next Cypher. If you know anybody that got a story, pay attention to the next podcast. So hit us up on the DM as well. So, constantly looking for talent. We're constantly looking for stories to tell and inspiration for the rest of us in the world. Take care, man. Be safe.
Man. Papi store.
They know.
They asked me where the spark went, I'm trying to find it, I think I lost it. When they started referring to my art as just content, I let my pen go and my mind drifts. 0.005 for a stream, it ain't enough of my time spent crafting. I come from nines blasting for nonsense. Reminded I graduated same year LeBron did. See, he went to the league, me I went to the corner. Justin Street, you run it wrong, you a goner. Clip longer than a text from your angry baby mama. Smoking weed in the sauna with dreams of a threesome with Gianna and Shauna. Lyrically, I'm just happy